And that's why I think it's a good time to learn some grammar. What? Now did I stammer? Work on that grammar. You should know when it's less or it's fewer. Oh, yeah. Like people who were never raised in a sewer. I hate these word crimes. Like I could care less. That means you do care. At least a little. Be a moron. Hey, you better slow down.
Hi everyone! Happy to share with you what I know about Precis Writing. So with the help of all the references I consulted, I now present you with this video lecture. So our objectives, at the end of the lesson, you should be able to define what a Precis is, detail the steps in Precis Writing, and identify some errors in Precis Writing. Finally, write accurate Precis proportional to the original text, which will be continued in our lecture proper. Okay, essentially, the principle of a Precis is best represented by these photos. You have the bigger pencil and smaller pencil, basically made of the same wood with lead. So same substance, like with the apple, same nutrition. Okay, but the other one is reduced. It's a more concise version. Even the cute kids here. So, what exactly is a Precis? It's a type of summarizing. So, if it's a summary, it's shorter. But this is special. Why? Because it insists on an exact replica in miniature of the work. So, when you say miniature exact replica, that means whatever the intention of the author is, you must be able to capture that using fewer words. Okay? Using fewer and your own words. Often, you reduce it to 1/4 or 1/3 of the original text's length. It's a condensation in one's own words of a longer piece of writing, and it's not, okay, focus on not. It's not a personal interpretation of a work or an expression of your opinion of the idea. So that means you stick to the author's meaning. Your job is to make it more concise. Okay, language skills needed for Precis Writing. Okay, if you're the type of person who likes combo meals, then you and Precis Writing have something in common. Why? Because Precis Writing basically will involve a combination of skills. Okay, first, you must know how to distinguish main ideas from details. Okay, and recognizing central idea in a paragraph, analyzing modes of development of a paragraph. Okay, simply put, these are the specific skills you need, like a combo of skills that you need to have. You know how to transform sentences, voice in terms of voice, direct speech to indirect speech. Okay, joining sentences, of course, compression is also needed, and then word choices. So you'd have to know the denotative and connotative meaning of words, and you have to know the different shades of meaning of words, neutral, approving or disapproving, and identifying synonyms or near synonyms. So in other words, you'd have to be a walking thesaurus in order to pull this through. But okay, don't worry, because it also takes practice. And, okay, to guide you step by step how to write a Precis, so I made it really specific. So I came up with 10 steps or 10 methods or approaches to writing a Precis. First, read carefully. It's a must. You have to understand the text. If you are still confused about the meaning of the text, then, okay, read it again, read it twice, thrice. Read it with your classmate. Just make sure your understanding is correct, because wrong Precis, when used in an article or an essay, will lead to erroneous information or misleading information, which is not a good academic practice. Number 2, underline essential points, the main idea. You actually do this when you write, make an outline, right? Previous lesson is outlining, so similar thing. Third, omit all unnecessary information. So just like in outlining, you will also omit unneeded materials. Number 4, reduce long phrases into shorter ones. compression. Okay, so remember reducing into ing participial phrases, like longer clauses being reduced to infinitive forms, etc. Number 5, retain the important points and ideas which are essential to be described. So sometimes when students do write the précis, they overdo it, like they even omit the keywords, and that's a no-no. Okay, number 6, use your own words as much as possible, because you're making the idea your own. Okay, and then by writing a précis, you simply attribute the source using APA citation. Okay, for number 7, quote only when appropriate. What are those instances? Okay, when appropriate, that means you only quote, that means you copy the author's words verbatim only if it's the best possible way, okay, to state the meaning. That if you change it, you also lose the meaning and the impact of the text. So you decide to use exact quotation. Otherwise, you have to précis. Number 8, change direct speech into indirect speech. So for example, you're quoting from a speech by Martin Luther King. I have a dream. You don't say, I have a dream, Martin. You will actually use or change it into indirect speech. You can say, King in his speech envisioned an image of, etc., etc. Okay, number 9, check word choices. I told you about denotation, connotation, shades of meaning. And 10, check for length. Once you're done, make sure your précis is reduced, is a reduced version of the original by 70%. Okay, 70% of the original length. Okay, now let's have an example. Original text. Most of us approach different kinds of problems in different ways. We may be very objective in coping with pressures at school, at work or school, but irrational and emotional in dealing with family problems. So you read that carefully, and this text is quite easy. Underline essential points. Okay, you see there, approach problems different ways, and you have work, school, emotional, family. So those are your keywords. Omit unnecessary information. So you keep on, okay, looking at the words problems, that may be omitted. And then synonyms, check for synonyms. What word can better replace the word problem? If you do Shift F7, it will give you like problems. Synonyms are glitches. Glitch, is that appropriate here? Nah, okay. How about difficulties? Maybe, but too general. How about trials? Too deep? I don't know. If you have family, work, school, problems, maybe the best term to use is stress. Okay? So look at the précis form. Most of us, so you didn't change that because it's actually the best term to use, or you can change it. Most people deal with stress in various manners. Different ways was changed into various manners. And then you simply have objectively, irrationally, or emotionally. No need to mention the different situations because the focus of the sentence is different ways of dealing with problems. Okay, so this is your précis form. Next example. The struggle for nationhood did not end in 1946. From then on, we have had to fight for our survival as a people, for our right to pursue our destiny, and we have had to continue the revolution of our fathers in 1896 to defend our republic, not so much from external attack as from internal collapse. Okay, I want you to pause the video right here and write your précis version. Okay, you're back. Let's see. You read it carefully. You underlined essential points. I'm sure you underlined struggle for nationhood, survival as a people, revolution, okay, republic, etc. Unnecessary information. So external attack, internal collapse. You can collectively term that as from within, okay, or from outside. What is there anything that you wish to quote? None. So let's try to reduce long phrases. For example, our right to pursue our destiny. Is there any way of stating that? Pursue our destiny. Okay, so compare your précis with this phrasee. To survive as a people. Okay, compressed version, because in the original you have for our survival as a people. Okay, and then our right to pursue our destiny was rephrased into national self-determination. Same meaning. Okay. After 1946, so in the original I said did not end in 1946, so it continued. We have had to struggle to save our republic from enemies within us. That's what we mean. The enemies, we are protecting the republic from internal collapse. So in your praise, you said from enemies within us. Okay, congratulations if your praise is similar to this one. If not, then do not be disheartened because we'll have practice exercises in class. But as right now, what you need to know are the common errors in Precis Writing. Let's have this original text. So I want you to read it. It's by Jane Goodall, Through a Window. Pause and read. Okay. Now, first error in Precis Writing. When you present an inaccurate précis, this is a result of maybe wrong understanding or misunderstanding or wrong comprehension of the text. Example, Goodall learned from her experiences with chimpanzees that they react positively to direct looks from humans. Why is it inaccurate? What makes it inaccurate? That they react positively. Okay? Because in the original, it simply says a chimpanzee will understand and may even return the look. It doesn't mean positive altogether, right? Second, failing to isolate the main point. Okay, Precis Writing, you're after the main idea, of course. So if you're praising something like this, Goodall shares that she dislikes looking directly into the chimpanzee's eyes because she once thought this can be threatening to the chimps. So in your précis, you stopped at the first sentence. Okay? How about the more important idea? The more important idea, which is stated in the last sentence, as long as one looks with gentleness. Okay, that part wasn't captured in the preceding précis. Number 3, including your personal interpretation along with something the author says. Remember, a précis is supposed to be objectively written. Do not put your interpretation. Do not get carried away by your emotion. Like here, Goodall reports that when humans look directly but gently into chimpanzees' eyes, the chimps are not threatened as they feel cared for instead. What makes this incorrect? As they feel cared for instead. Remember, you are not an expert on chimps and you did not do the study. Goodall did, so do not interpret. Okay? So, nothing in the text, in the original text, can be used as basis for your interpretation. Number 4, including your own judgment about the point made in the original texts. So this, or maybe avoid putting your comments and judgment. Example, by stating that chimpanzees are not threatened when humans look at them directly but gently, Goodall established that primates possess human-like emotions. Whoa. Okay? That's too big for a claim. Possess human-like emotions. That's wide-ranging. So, incorrect. That's your own judgment. So, you strayed away from the original texts. Number 5, taking much of its language directly from the source to the point of plagiarizing. Okay, this is really important. You have to, when you write a précis, use your own words as much as possible. Like here, Goodall reports that as long as one looks at the chimpanzee with gentleness and without arrogance, then the primate will not feel threatened. So if you look at the original, as long as one looks with gentleness without arrogance, so you copied that. So that will make you commit plagiarism, which is an academic theft. It's a crime. Okay. Number 6, writing a précis almost as long as the original. Example, Jane Goodall's experience with chimpanzees taught her that these primates do not actually feel threatened if they are looked directly in the eye. As long as the look accorded them is gentle without air of superiority, a chimpanzee will understand. Although the meaning is correct, you use 42 words here. This is more of a paraphrase because you included everything. Okay, do not include everything. Like, go back to the how-tos or the steps. Step number 3, that says you have to omit unnecessary information. Okay. So, with all those common errors in mind, there are 6. Okay. We come up with an accurate précis. With only 23 words, you have Goodall reports that when humans look directly but gently into chimpanzees' eyes, the chimps are not threatened and may even reciprocate the acts. Look at the original. So you did not need to say, I never like to look at chimpanzees straight in the eye, because you decided it's not so important. What's important is the result of Goodall's study. And then you also translated direct, because the given text is direct speech. You translated that into indirect speech by saying Goodall reports. That's why you have to also to know also the different verbs like reports, states, contends, argues, debates. You can choose among those verbs to suit the author's meaning. But since this is part of a report, maybe anecdotal or okay, it's okay to use the word reports. And then you did not copy anything. You copied which one? Gently. Oh no, gentleness, which is an adjective, was translated into gently, this time an adverb. And then the chimps, another term for chimpanzees, are not threatened. So you related that with the first sentence, and then for the last part, and may even reciprocate the act. So that is your restatement of the line, may even return the look from the original. Okay, so you notice here, shorter, more concise, more compact, but similar in meaning, similar in substance. The author's message was fully captured. That's what a good précis is. Okay, so for your homework, I'll be giving you an original text and an example of an unacceptable précis. So you have to read the text and cite 3 errors in précis writing. So from the 6, cite 3 committed by, okay, this is the original, committed by this unacceptable précis. So write answers in a 1/4 sheet of yellow paper, submit next meeting in class. And I want you to also study this acceptable version of the précis and figure out why this is a good example. Maybe you write your own version as well. Okay, so comparing the two. These are my references. So if you have questions, we'll see each other next week. Okay, goodbye everyone. Keep safe.